You know, it's pretty crazy how much the value of a big name player in the NBA can fluctuate after a poor season or after a few injuries. I mean, there's so many deals and contracts in recent history where if a certain player never got hurt, their options as far as teams wanting them and landing huge contracts would be much greater. For instance, we saw it happen with Boogie Cousins after he went from All NBA status on the Kings to veteran minimum contracts on the Warriors shortly after. We've seen it happen to Isaiah Thomas, Kemba Walker, and a few others. You know, it's not pretty. And you know, it was looking like we were in the middle of seeing it happen to a former All-NBA floor general in John Wall. But after signing a guaranteed 2-year deal with a real contender in the LA Clippers, he's in pretty much the best situation he could have asked for if he really wants to show he still got it. He's even said that proving he still got it is one of his main goals this upcoming season, besides winning a championship, in a recent interview. So yeah, in this video, we're just going to look at what impact John Wall could really have on the LA Clippers. You know, how well the team could perform with his contribution, and basically just how washed, quote unquote, he really is. But anyway, real quick before I go any further, what's up YouTube? Plug Speaks back with another video. If you're new, first of all, welcome, go ahead and sub. Also like the video if you enjoy. I upload quality basketball content and we're grinding for 5K, so I'd most definitely appreciate it getting back to uploading consistent content. So I'd most definitely appreciate it, like I said. But back to the video. Alright, so I don't know about y'all, but to me, whenever a former big name player signs with a team with a real chance at a championship, you know, a real chance at making the NBA Finals, the most important thing, or at least the first thing to look at, is bringing up a realistic view of what this player could bring to the team. Because this former big name player is obviously no longer in that big name stage of their career. Come on now, I mean, as much as we'd love to act as if this is just John Wall from the Wizards and we're pulling that and placing him on the Clippers to form a great unstoppable big three with Kawhi and Paul George, it's not the truth, man. It's not the reality. We got to look at a realistic view of what John Wall can bring to this team. Now, that doesn't mean he's a bum at all. It doesn't mean he's the sixth man. It doesn't mean he's lost half of his abilities. Nah, it just means we got to be real, because I know how tempting it is. I mean, when he was on the Wizards, we're talking about multiple 40-point performances each season, you know, clutch moments, consistent playoff appearances, All-NBA, All-Star, all of this and more. But at this stage in his career, you know, some of this has dropped off. So yeah, realistically, he is at the age of 31, going on 32. That's how old he'll be when the season begins. And being that he sat out last season with the Rockets, the last time he played during the season at all was during the 2020-21 NBA season. Now, during that season, his performance wasn't anything to laugh at. You know, it wasn't amazing, but he averaged 20 points, 7 assists, and 3 rebounds in a decent sample size of 40 games on mediocre efficiency of 41% from the field and 31% from 3. I mean, objectively speaking, those are far from bad numbers. 20 and 7, that's solid. And if you look at the highlights from that season, you know, John Wall showcased a lot of the stuff basketball fans love him for. You know, even though he went through an ACL tear, he still possesses some of his athletic ability. You know, he's still fast with the ball, might not be as fast, but he's still quick with the ball, can easily drive to the rim, finish with contact, possesses some mid-range ability. And don't let that weak, you know, 3-point percentage of 31% fool you. It did come on some decent volume. He shot 6 attempts per game, which equals about 2 makes per game. And even though the season I'm about to reference is 4 years ago, he has had some seasons where he shot well from beyond the arc. You know, he shot 37% from 3 back in 2018. And you know, your shooting ability, your shooting form, that's not very athletic related at all. We've seen how Klay Thompson came back and dominated. So if John Wall has spent these past 2 years in that gym, you know, getting some pro runs in, all those workouts, which it appears as though he has based on all these workout videos he's released, I see no reason why he couldn't shoot at least 35% from 3 this upcoming season for the Clippers, which would be very valuable, being that he's most likely going to be their starting point guard. Maybe they'll go with Reggie Jackson, but you know, I assume they're going to give John Wall a chance to at least prove that he deserves this position. And you know, speaking of proving things, I feel as though us NBA fans way too easily and way too commonly count out or discredit how much damage a motivated player can do, because you know, it's not rocket science. Anyone who's good enough to make an NBA team, especially as a starter, is one of the best basketball players in the world. But I believe the difference is seen in the work ethic. Like, who really wants it? It's the same reason Kobe's rookie year stats look so atrocious, and then the rest of his career you would think it's not even the same person. It's the same reason Julius Randle went from, you know, a really mediocre role player to becoming an all-star player not too long ago. Now obviously sometimes it's really just a matter of opportunity, but in some cases it's motivation. And in a recent interview after signing with the Clippers, John Wall brings up how motivated he is to remind people who he is. He literally agreed with the idea that some fans have probably completely forgotten about him. And I don't know about y'all, but to me that's an extremely humbling statement, considering that John Wall, there was a point in time where John Wall was a top 3 point guard. And if you don't agree, you might just not have watched the NBA for long enough, because he was that guy. But anyway, enough of my belief in John Wall. I'm gonna wrap this video up by talking about my belief in the Clippers and their chances to actually win the 2023 NBA title. So we know, let's not, you know what I'm saying, let's not beat around the bush. It's a big deal that someone like Kawhi Leonard is expected to return to this team in the upcoming season. Like, even if they didn't sign John Wall, just the fact that they have Kawhi Leonard back gives them a great chance at an NBA title, because for the Clippers to decide one thing or the other, PG isn't healthy or Kawhi isn't healthy, or both of them ain't healthy. But as long as things stay on track, both of these players, you know, Kawhi and PG, will be playing in the 2023 NBA season. And when both of them are playing, the Clippers can do damage. I'm talking about both of these players can easily average 25 plus on efficient shooting as 3-level scorers. I mean, what more do you need in today's NBA? I mean, Paul George in the 2021 postseason, he was pretty much carrying the Clippers by himself and took the Phoenix Suns to Game 6. So I mean, there's just a lot to look forward to. Then you got all the quality role players, you know, Rodney Hood, Robert Covington is a nice pickup, you know, Brandon Boston even, Reggie Jackson of course, and then you got Terrence Mann, young player on the rise, Marcus Morris, Luke Kennard. Look, the depth pretty much speaks for itself, and I see them as a really complete roster entering the 2023 NBA season. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. Y'all let me know in the comments, do y'all believe in John Wall the same way I do? Is he good for a nice 15 points, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds on any given night? Because I could see him producing that for the Clippers. Y'all let me know in the comments. Like this video up, share it, sub if new, all of that. I appreciate y'all watching as always, and I'm out.